Good morning, Sam. It is Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. Today, I was thinking a lot about what the last 10 now months have been. Being stuck at home, under the fear of the virus, concerned about our future, not sure about what the present is going to hold. And I found myself trying to focus a little bit more on maybe some of the positives of what's happening. What has been going on that maybe is good. And I was thinking a lot about slowing down. The last 10 months, at least for me, I've slowed down a lot. I've slowed down what I've been doing in a given day, how much I've been doing in a week, how much I've been doing in a month. A couple of days ago, the New York Times published an article saying that the US carbon emissions had decreased by 10% in 2020. This was the lowest that they had been in nearly 3 decades. Now, most of this is due to the fact that we weren't traveling, that there were fewer cars on the road, that people were going to fewer places, that the economy was not moving nearly as much. And while I'm sure that in the next year, as people start to get vaccinated and as we start to move forward, that we'll start to climb back up again, I think it's important to note that it is possible to live in a world with 10% fewer CO2 emissions. That we can do it. We all just did. And maybe there are pieces of that that just weren't that bad. Now, Sam, I don't want to try to give you some kind of glass half full sort of view, but I just wanted to cite some of the things that I found in the last 10 months that were bringing me a little bit more joy with slowing down. Now, one of the things I found is that I was spending way more time with my family. We all were. We couldn't go out. So we spent time inside, whether that was cooking meals together or gardening or working on house projects or just watching TV and hanging out. I found myself becoming irritated with them, sure. But I also found myself growing a lot closer to my parents and my siblings, to my niece and my nephew in ways that I didn't really imagine. The other piece that I feel like came out of this was I just had more time to think. I wasn't constantly jumping from one thing to the next without really figuring out where I was going. I actually had a moment to kind of sit and stop and plan, to think about where I was headed, to think about what I had done, to really assess where I was, to really make conscious, deliberate choices about how I wanted to move forward in the world. I think that's pretty important. And I think it's one of those things that so often, the only time when we really have a chance to see where we've gone is when we look over our shoulder. I think that having more time actually allowed me to plan the track that I'm moving forward on with a little more clarity. This is not to say that there weren't a lot of cons. Social isolation, depression. Yes, they were there. Economic stress, feeling trapped in our homes, feeling stuck in these situations, absolutely. But I think that there's still something to be said for slowing down, for moving with a little less daily small stress to just move through our lives, to have the time to sit and think about where we're going before we've already gone. Sam, I'll see you tomorrow.